If we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things. We huggle up too, to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. Thank you for joining us, whether you're joining us live on YouTube or possibly on Twitch or Twitter, or not Twitter, actually, because they don't do that anymore. Facebook, that's the other one I wanted to say. But thank you for joining us. And maybe you've downloaded the podcast and you're listening after the fact, or you could be listening on Edmonton Sports Talk Radio. And if you're doing that, thank you for taking some time out of your day to be part of our crew. We appreciate it. All right. So you know what? It's been a while. I apologize.
It's been a while.
We wanted to get back into it sooner, but sometimes life just takes away from getting into our football friends, and so I do apologize that it's been a little while since we got going, but we are back, and of course joining as always the one super fan, Mike. How are you?
How's it going?
Very good, very good.
Excellent.
Nice to see your face again. Yes,
it's been a while,
I miss all of your faces. Yes. And then of course there's Commissioner Kayla. How are you, Commish?
Yo, what's up?
Nice. Do you say that just so that everybody knows that's your voice?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, only the cool kids use language like that. So,
all right. Well, now I know what not to say. Great. Linda, welcome back once again. How was Beer Fest?
I went to 2 festivals 2 weekends in a row.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Both pretty good.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to all the suggestions that I'm sure will be coming very shortly. All right. Now, I'm just looking here. There we go. Okay. All right. So I did want to say thank you to everyone that was able to come out to our CFL Family Summit on March the 7th. It was very well attended. And throughout all of the different parties throughout the country, we were able to start the campaign off being just over $10,000. So well done to all of the different parties. And I mean, CFL Fans Fight Cancer is a bigger deal every year, and we know how important it is. And of course, this time supporting, Cancer Alberta. So trying to make sure that it's right in our backyard. So really nice to see all the people and get to hang out, but also great that we raised some great money. So thank you so much for that. And we will talk more about those fun and games very soon. Now, I did want to, we'll talk about those in a bit, but I did want to bring in our guest. Very excited to have here, going into his 3rd season in green and gold. Of course, he won the CFL's most outstanding rookie in 2024, and now becoming synonymous with basically everything that is green and gold. Welcome to the Turf District, Nick Anderson. We're so glad you're here.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. It's funny. I say you're going into your 3rd season, but it's like we know you so well. Like it just seems like it seems like longer. You just fit in so nicely. But I noticed this year maybe it's because you stayed in Edmonton in the off season. So tell us a little bit of how that's been for you, because that's quite different from home.
Man, it really is, man. But just having the year that I had last year and not really having a year where I spent a lot of time on the field, I was able to just spend a lot of time in the community. And that really just showed me greater envisionment for this city, for the way that the organization impacts this city. And I just was like, you know what, I want to stay. I want to learn more about this. I want to get to know the fans more, just get to know what Edmonton football is really about. And just use that as extra motivation this next year to just know that I'm playing for something greater. So it's been awesome, man. Everybody, complains about the snow. Um, it really didn't start getting bad to me till now. Like if it snows again, I'm getting a little fed up now. But other than that, man, it's been a great experience. You know, um, fortunately, I get to go see my family this last month before training camp. But I do feel like staying up here and just getting to know more about the city of Edmonton and everything that it has to offer definitely benefited me this offseason.
Oh, that's fantastic, and I know we all get to this point right
Yeah.
around mid-March too. So now it's like you're a true Edmontonian. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're enough. That's good now. I know we know one more is coming because we know, but still, quite enough now. Yeah.
It'll come. You talked about the community. It's great. Obviously, we've been seeing you at the football camps as well. You were at the Green and Goals game just this past weekend. What did you think about all of that so far?
Man, it's been great, man. And every time I get the opportunity to just talk to other pro athletes that are in the NFL or other CFL teams or just individuals from home back in Mississippi, I tell them that the CFL and specifically being a CFL player in Edmonton is just so unique because you get opportunities where you're in a lot of environments with fans and people that really care about you, really care about the organization, have been fans for years and years and years and very passionate, very, open hearted. You get to also show them at the same time what your personality is like, who you are as a person, what's your character like, the things that you like, the things you don't like. And so I just feel like events like the one this past weekend just really gives a peaceful opportunity to have the luxury of being a pro athlete, but also have the luxury of being a person as well as a pro athlete. And so that's something I really just, is dear to my heart, something that I, really enjoy doing, like being at events. I like people to be able to see who I am without my helmet on. And I feel like that's been one of the blessed things about just staying up here and being able to be impactful and things like that.
That's one of the best things for fans too, is to get to
Yes.
know
Yeah.
you with your helmet off. And actually one of the reasons we started the show is that we know we have these character guys that, are away from home and doing all these things. And it's like, yeah, we want people to know that you're a person too. Like,
Right. Right.
and a cool person. Like you play great football, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have the cool person too.
Right.
And a reminder just for people watching, if you're watching live, add your comments and questions into the chat, and we'll get to some of those with Nick before we let him go. All right.
Well, I just want to kind of sidestep Andrew from that question,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
one of the things that you said, Nick, the importance of staying in Edmonton and getting to know the community. And I know for especially these two young gentlemen before us, one of the biggest impacts they had were football players coming into their schools. And one of the reasons they fell in love with football so much. And with all this talk about like CFL changing and like how can we attract younger crowds, I think you're doing just that. Like, how does that feel for you to go and talk to the kids, and like how can they relate and maybe get involved in football? Like how do you persuade them?
Man, I just feel like it's so amazing simply because the way that football is just handed out to the children of this community as means of them having the opportunity to really learn more about it is just such a blessing. Like in the States, is football is a culture, but because it's a culture, a lot of times kids don't get great opportunities to just learn more about the game and be more around it in that aspect. Because some people just can't do those type of things. But up here, just with hockey being, the main sport, everybody has a natural just desire to want to know more and curiosity about football. So just being in environments to where I'm able to teach, I'm able to, help the girls out with girl flag football, and that being something that's going to be an Olympic event. If I can just help them, teach them something, that's something that kid may never forget for the rest of their life. Like she may go on to be an Olympian and be like, yeah, when I was little, Nick Anderson for the
Oh no.
Oh,
that was
that was such a good story.
It was so hot he burned it out.
it was
Wow.
He'll come back here in a second, I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, that was oh man. I love that he was talking about that. That was fantastic. Yeah. I'll
Turning it
watch
off, turning it
him.
back on again.
Yeah, I'll see him join back in here in a second. That yeah. Oh, that's especially when you're talking about helping everybody, right? So sorry,
There we
Nick.
go.
We saw you just phase out
Okay,
there.
my bad. I'm sorry.
That's all
What
good.
was the last thing that I said? I've been having technical difficulties tonight.
That's
So
okay. You were saying that you were if you were talking to one of the women that then they would go on to be an Olympian, and then they were Nick Anderson taught me.
yeah, okay. So so it's just things like that. Because during the season I got a chance to coach a little girls flag football team. And they did some camps for a couple weeks. And just to like see the little girls work harder than the boys sometimes. They really do. They are dialed into details, man. And so to just see them and know that that's about to be a Olympic sport. That's just the opportunity to just pave a moment in their lives that can shape them however in the future in a positive way. That's one of the reasons why I was so happy to do the Edmonton L Selects program, because I got to work with kids that are about to go off and play. Some of those guys are going to play university ball, a lot of them actually. So it was a very great talented group, and then on top of it being a talented group, these guys got to experience something of playing professional ball playing football under a player that's currently a professional athlete. And I just feel like that's something that you really you can't get back, because I look at times that I was able to just meet guys at their football camps growing up, and I'm like, man, like this guy's a pro. Like I want to be just like him when I grow up, and then just to have the opportunity to be that guy now, it's a blessing. It's something that I don't really take for granted. Every time that I get the opportunity to go to a camp, a function, anything like that, I tell them I'm all for it. I'm all ready to do it.
That's
Oh, that's-
amazing.
Yeah.
When you were in training camp with the Saints, did you have those types of fun opportunities too with the kids?
Not as many opportunities, simply because the NFL is on such a grander scheme.
Mm-hmm.
They limit the interactions that the players get to have hands-on experiences with the fans. And that's one of the things I understand both sides of it. I understand it because of how the league has been portrayed as so high up that regular people can't touch it in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's really like the end of the day, players want these interactions. Like for instance, I have former teammates that are active NFL players, and they, say all the time how, they love how that I get to just go to events and go to camps, and people aren't hounding for autographs or pictures. They just treat them like regular individuals. And I'm just like, man, that's one of the things I love about the CFL is just you get to really make relationships. Like instead of you just being an untouchable public figure, you get to actually make relationships with real people. And it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
That's amazing.
Well, we feel pretty blessed too. One of the hallmarks of a good teacher, good coach, good play, is that you've been there. So, what were some of the adjustments you had to make to the CFL game when you got here that you can now convey to the others?
Man, it's crazy that this is about to be year 3 for me, because when everybody says that it goes fast, it really goes fast. I look at myself as somebody that's going into this season to be a leader, to help the young guys, to help the guys in year 1, the guys in year 2, because I've been in year 1, I've been in year 2. I've signed a contract extension, I've dealt with an injury, like I've dealt with things that in such a short amount of time that athletes deal with over the course of careers. And I just feel like it's just a blessing, because it gives me the opportunity to allow my light to shine, and to, be that brother for somebody in the locker room, that the person that I needed when I came up to the CFL, because it's different. You're in another country first and foremost. You're in a place that, you probably have never heard of before, and the only thing that makes sense is football when you first get up here, because it's like, this is all I know. This is the only common thing that's, like everything at home. And it just takes you, having opportunities to just come out your shell, man. And that's why I feel like the fans are so important, because when you have a nice fan base that welcomes you with positivity, with love, care, and concern, you get the opportunity to embrace that back. You get the opportunity to be like, man, like, yeah, I'm away from my family. They may not be able to come to this game, but I got a new family in the people that love me because I got on these colors. And I just feel like, that's the thing that I would tell the rookies about being in the CFL, man, is to just embrace it. Just embrace your opportunity and embrace where your feet are. Don't overlook it because of where you're trying to go. Don't underlook it because you feel like you haven't done this or done that. Man, really just be where your feet are. Take advantage of the opportunity because it's a great opportunity. And despite what others say or do, it's an opportunity that God bless you with, that you should take advantage of each and every day.
Oh man! Now you said you're in a different country. Did you have any of those moments of like culture shock coming to Canada? And why is your answer Luke Burton Cron?
I I feel like the biggest culture shock was the driving.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I think the driving was the biggest culture shock because a lot of places are very confusing when it comes to like who goes, who yields. So driving was a big culture shock. Um, and then it's snowing. The way that it snows here was a little culture shock because I'm from Mississippi, but everything else wasn't too much of a culture shock. I feel like growing up in the United States, you really don't get educated on anything really that happens in Canada, and so to I was just amazed at how beautiful the country is from like a natural aspect. Like I've been to Banff, I've been to Vancouver,
Mhm.
like beautiful cities. Even Edmonton in the summer, in the River Valley is beautiful. I like being outdoors, and so just learning more about this country and what it has to offer, how it started, just things like that. I feel like that's been the biggest culture shock, is just learning more about it.
And you also mentioned, I wanted to ask this because you said you've dealt with an injury like last year. Obviously, you had the injuries. Was that like the first time you've had to deal with something like that? And what
Yeah.
did you learn from that experience?
Man, I got injured in 2021, my junior year at Tulane. And I feel like that's been the situation that I've leaned on the most, but this situation has been different. And I got injured then, but it was a broken bone, and with a broken bone, you can fix it. You screw it back together, and I was good, ready to play in 3 weeks. Because that's just one thing about me, man. I've always been a player. Like I look at each opportunity to step on the field as something that you can't take for granted. So if I can physically go, I'm gonna go. Which this year that kind of didn't play in my favor and led to a re-injury. So, but I feel like the biggest thing about just being injured is one, taking care of your mental. You got to be around people that understand, people that have been through it, people that can keep you motivated. Because it's one of those things to where, especially in my injury, I wanted to keep going because I'm like, man, I was rookie of the year my first year. I come out this year, I'm averaging 9 tackles a game. Like, I got goals that I'm trying to beat, and then you go so hard and it's like, man, your body just say, I can't. We got to take care of this. And then it's like, we don't have time to take care of this. I got so many things that I got to get, so many things I got to do. And it's just like, you keep ignoring it, it's gonna get worse. And so that's my injury, was just a wear and tear injury. And I'm really grateful for it because it taught me how to be a pro. It taught me how to listen to my body. It taught me how to understand that my body is not a machine and I got to take care of it in great ways. Not just how I would as a rookie or not how I would when I was in college. I have to actually, stay on top of, my body because I've been playing football for a long time. That's reality of it. I've been playing since I was 7 years old and I just turned 26. So it's just one of those things that you gotta just understand, like, okay, the minimum stretching and cold tub, hot tub, massage therapy that you had to do in college, like you're not that same college athlete. And so it's just been a blessing. And also on the flip side, man, just being able to be around JC, uh, be
Mm.
around our coaches, be able to understand the game from the coaching aspect to grow my football IQ for me being back on the field has benefited me 110 times over. Especially with it being, from everything last year being more reactive, being in my second year. Now I'm gonna actually know what's going on, know the motions, because the CFL game is different. It's very different than how ball is played down in the States, especially with it being three down football. You having the waggle, you having the wider field dimensions, like it's different. So I feel like being out last year, I was able to see the game from a very different aspect to grow in my ability to be able to play this year.
Awesome.
That's a great perspective.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you talked about obviously we're the most outstanding rookie in 2024, but there's been some changes to the linebacking group over the last couple of years. So now you're the wily vet going into your third year. What are you kind of most excited about with the linebackers this year?
Man, I'm just excited because it's an opportunity for guys that came in together to really set their own trajectory of what they want it to look like. Like right now, the vets in the linebacker room are me, Joe DeBlanco, Va, and O. And it's like we the guys that came in as rookies 2 years ago. And so it's one of those things to where now like we have a better responsibility and understanding of like what it takes to get Edmonton back to where it needs to be. And it's our duty now, versus us coming in and Niles was the oldest in the room. So he was the grown dog and we just puppies. And so he's trying to get us all, in track and trying to get us in line. But man, he was a great leader, man, and I'm gonna miss playing beside him so much because I've just learned so much from him in the first couple of years of me being here, and I kind of was sad, about him leaving, and he told me he was just like, man, it's your opportunity now. And I'm happy that you get your opportunity now, man. It just shows, our relationship. And he's right. It's my opportunity to take everything that I've learned from his leadership, my own leadership on the college perspective, and just implement it on the field with my play on and off. But just the linebacker room in general, man, we got guys in there that really deserve their opportunity. Even in my injury, I felt like Joel deserved that opportunity and he made the most of it because Joel is another linebacker that I watched come in from day one of rookie minicamp and grind just as hard as I was, and for his first year, he kind of spent it on special teams, didn't really get a lot of defensive action. So when I got hurt, I was like, Joel, go like man, go play, go, make plays because and I'm that's one thing I'm excited about too, because rookie minicamp, me and Joel got to play beside each other, but we didn't our rookie year and we clicked. Like, I played against Joel in college, we were fond of each other then. And so that's another awesome thing. I'm glad that I get the chance to just suit up, with a guy that carries himself in a similar manner, such as high character, high energy, just a guy that shows up, work hard. And then, we got Brock, the rookie that came out of nowhere balling. And so we just got a great linebacker room, a great linebacker coach. And I feel like that's important, for our defense coordinator to be somebody that did it at a high level in the same city that we're playing in. I just feel like everything has worked out just how it's supposed to be, man. And I'm looking forward to just, the memories that we make in that room this season.
Oh man, that sounds like an amazing brotherhood. Holy cow. How do you guys build that? Because we talked about the importance of community for you staying here, understanding the community, getting out there. But what about inside the locker room, but outside of the locker room and those relationships? How do you build that to make the most successful team you have?
And that's a great question, simply because a lot of people, from different perspectives look at football as okay, like it's all about talent. The teams that win consistently not are always the most talented teams, but they are the team that can play together and can get it done and find ways to be successful. And a lot of that comes from the relationships in and out of the locker room. When you
Absolutely.
have guys that are playing unselfishly, which is hard in professional sports on both aspects, because you could look at a guy like, okay, I could understand why he, would have to be selfish because his livelihood is on the line week in,
Right.
week out. And then you can look at a guy like, man, like I need you to, come and be a part of something greater than yourself. But I just feel like now we have made the relationships off the field and in each other's personal lives to where I'm gonna put my selfishness aside for myself because I know that I'm playing for Joel, Brittany, his wife, his son. Like I'm playing, I have gotten to know this person on a deeper level, more than just my teammate, but as my brother, to where I'm gonna show up every day and do my job because I know that his family is dependent on it. And he's gonna do his job because my family dependent on it. And when you get everybody in the locker room to really have that kind of care, concern, love for each other, oh, the wind's gonna come,
Yeah.
and they're gonna pour when they come, because it's just one of the things you're playing for something greater than yourself, and you're gonna always give that extra step, make that extra tackle, give that extra effort because it's bigger than you.
Oof.
Woof. I know I got
Let's
chills.
go.
It's gonna come. You heard it here. Um, you mentioned, plus it was in a recent WE article that you've been spending some time with the coaching staff. Now, I want you to focus on the here and now on the field, but is coaching something you're thinking about down the road? Does that get you excited?
It does. I'll often tell people that I'm a jack of all trades. It's a lot of things that I'm interested in: sports broadcasting, coaching, sports commentary, things like this. But coaching is definitely something that really has a soft spot in my heart because I'm looking at the fact that I wouldn't be where I am today without the influences of the coaches that I've had in my life. I wouldn't be the man that I am today without the mentors that I had from football and just the revenues that came with it. And so definitely, especially me doing the selections off season, and just, training kids outside of my own training, taking the time to teach kids and show them different things about their craft. I definitely think that is something that's going to be in my future.
Well, I can tell you that just from listening to you, I can tell that you've spent some time around Mark Killam because I think all of us will run through the walls beside us, much like we did when we talked to Mark. What is it like working with Mark? Because you've talked about JC and you obviously you have that relationship, but coming in as now a leader on the team, and Mark is looking to his leaders to help his vision. What is that like for you?
Man, it's been good, man. Simply because just the way that he really approached the opportunity that he was given to come to this city, to come back to a place where he played collegiate ball and was able to witness the success that it had, and to take his experience to say, okay, you know what, I think we can get it done up the road in Edmonton. He came in with that passion and that fire that you want from a head coach. Just a guy that another linebacker, a guy that played the linebacker position, did it, well at the collegiate level, has been a phenomenal coach in this league for X amount of years. He brought all of that, all the intangibles of brotherhood and playing for something bigger than yourself, and having pride and being a blue collar, player in practice and really putting in the work. I remember one of the team meetings, one of the last team meetings, man, he gave a pregame speech, and I'm just like, man, I wish I was playing tomorrow. But he just he just talked about, Edmonton just, being the north of the CFL and people having to come here and deal with us versus people coming here and just walking over us and talk about defending the home turf, man. It just was like, yes, like take pride in this stadium, take pride in this city. Like when people come to Edmonton, like they get handled. And it's just him having that raw emotion and that raw passion every day that he walks into that office as a head ball coach. Like I said, man, it gives you something else to play for, man, because it's like I'm playing for him too, and I love working with him as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I will say that the effect is there from all of your coaches. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'd be happy to be on your team. I'd suck, but I'd still be on your team. It's great. Just for the coaching talks. Mike, is there a couple of fan questions we can throw into Nick here before we get into some quick hits?
Yeah, I got a couple in here for sure. Obviously, much like us, everyone that's been watching is sort of feeling the energy. Our good friend Leanne, is it showing up here?
Yep.
Where? There we go. This guy just might bump J rank on my top spot for favorite Double E players. That's high praise indeed.
It is.
And given that
Ranks another
Alberta
one,
has
man.
absolutely,
Pass
given
me.
that we had the province was sort of settled by a lot of different cultures, but especially the Ukrainian side. She says, "Has Nick tried Ukrainian food, and when is he coming for a homemade Ukrainian dish?"
I've tried like bits and pieces of Ukrainian food. I can't name the ones that I've tried, but it was good. But I got invited to a dinner and I was just trying all types of food. Like they were throwing all different types of food at me and everything was good. But it was a lot of things that I've never had, but Ukrainian was definitely on the menu.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. You got a standing invite, it looks like. Chris Agar wants to know, for Nick, please let us know some of the players you met and looked up to when you were a kid.
Okay, the players that I've met, I want to say I met Ryan Clarke when I was younger at a 7-on-7 tournament. And I think he had just retired or in his close years to retirement. And he was talking mad trash at the camp, but I didn't know who he was. And so I'm talking, trash back. And I'll never forget Ron Clark looked at me and he said, Google me. And then I Googled him and I was like, so I went and Googled him after the camp and I went and talked to him and everything. And he just, talked to me about like, just being a competitor or just showing good sportsmanship and things like that. But it was a very interesting, just opportunity for me to meet an NFL guy. Another NFL guy that, I really became very much close with once my journey to the NFL got closer, was Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler, those of you that don't know, had the game-winning interception the last time before this previous Super Bowl that the Patriots played the Seahawks. And he's from Vicksburg, Mississippi, where I'm from. He played in my high school. And so I've known of him for a long time, kept up with him, hoping that he would, make the team in New England. So when he, made the interception in the Super Bowl, he, blew up. And everybody from Vicksburg was like, had been rooting for him. He was, the guy that made it. And he just one of those guys that really took me under his wing from the aspect of making that transition to being a professional. In fact, he was the guy that told me to come up to the CFL. I called him. I was like, I'm trying to get back in the NFL. The UFL is, there, but the TFL really wants to give me a great opportunity. He was like, man, go to the CFL. He was like, go up there, have a great experience. He was like, you can go up there, you can be a Hall of Famer, you can retire. Like, that's what you need to go. Like, don't worry about the NFL. If it happens, it's meant for you. And, if it doesn't happen, you can have a great career and a great legacy up north. And so those are just two examples of, guys that, I've met. And then I've met a lot of guys through college and through, teammates coming back and teammates that I play with going to NFL teams and me getting the opportunity to be at places with them. I met Vernon Davis. I've met a lot of people, man, but I met Marshawn Lynch when I was in Puerto Rico. So, yeah, so I've met a lot of people, man, but Malcolm, I think Malcolm takes the cake for most influential, especially for me being, a child that grew up in his hometown.
Very cool.
That's very cool. As you said that, it just came to my head. Do you like the trash talk part of the game, or is that part of your game, or are you just like, forget it, I just take this guy out? Like, what's the fun in that for you?
I would definitely say that I don't think that I would ever be mic'd up for a game. I don't think I will ever be mic'd up for a game. I'm gonna stick to the interviews after the game when it comes to the microphone.
Okay.
During the game, I'm just a different person. So
Oh, now I just can we just have like the podcast mic up? Like we don't have to like we won't share it. It'll just be for we might work something out. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I just want that in my ear while I'm watching the game. I'm like, oh, did he just say that's a good one? Wow. All right. All right.
Well,
Any others in
they
there?
wouldn't mic me up either. So
No. Also fair. Yeah. Any others there, Mike, for before we
I got one more here again from Chris. I think he says what all of us are kind of thinking at this point. Those words from Nick is a prime example of what's been missing from our green and gold for quite some time. Thank you.
Yes,
thank
agree.
y'all, man. Thank y'all, man. Y'all give us something to play for, especially like being in a situation like myself where family isn't there, familiarity isn't there. I have become familiar with my new family in the double E, and it just gives me something to really push, man. It gives me something to really motivate me to go into the facility every day and be a coffee bean and spread everything that I'm feeling about the fans, about the city, about the pride that comes with the double E. It gives me something to really push and spread amongst the facility so everybody can get their energy, and to have the coaches that we have that have done it at a high level, the general manager that played here when everything was at a high level. It's going to be special, man. It's about to get real.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we won't keep you for too much longer. We have a couple of just quick hit questions for you, just so that we know you more outside of the football type of thing. What do you like to do when you're not doing football things, or do you do things that you're not doing football things?
Man, really just the things that I just talked about. Like being out in the community, helping with kids, training, working out in some capacity. I like spending time with my family. Going home this next month before training camp, so that's gonna be a grand time. I get to spend time with all my siblings, all my family, all my friends. And then other than that, I like watching podcasts on YouTube. As far as like getting perspectives about individuals that have done what I'm doing or are doing things that I want to do. And just things like that. I love sports. I'm a chess player. I can play chess. If anybody ever wants to play, let me know. Um, and that's really it, man. That's really it. Just constantly trying to just improve and be the best version of myself. That's what I'm into.
Well, if you
Awesome.
need a podcast to watch, I know one. They talk about the Elks a lot, actually. I don't know if you've heard of it. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Where's my shameless plug thing? Oh, there it is. There we go. All right, perfect. Okay. Go ahead, Mike.
So obviously athletes got to fuel the body. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Oh man. What is my favorite food? Does it have to be like a certain style of food or a specific?
Whatever you want to answer.
Whatever I want to answer. I'm gonna go with a good seafood boil. So like
Ooh.
crawfish, shrimp, crab legs,
Nice.
like a good southern crawfish seafood boil. Yeah, that's my favorite food, man. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing like
That
it.
that makes sense coming from Mississippi. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There's no strings attached. All expenses paid. Where are you heading in the world?
No strings attached, all expenses paid. Where am I heading in the world? Somewhere in Asia. China or Japan, somewhere over there, just to get just a different experience.
Yeah.
Especially like this off season, I've been able to travel really to all parts of North America. With the selects, I went to Mexico. I'm living in Canada, and then I'm about to go home in the States. And so like just moving around that much has just had me open to just going different places. But I think Asia would be the place, a country somewhere in Asia, um, that I would go to just have a different experience, open to something new.
Absolutely.
okay,
Good
well,
call.
if we flip the script, then if someone's coming to see you in Edmonton, where are you going to take them? What do you want to show them about here?
If somebody's coming to visit me in Edmonton, I always got to take them to the River Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially during the summertime, and they come up for a game. I gotta take them to the River Valley. Just like all the trails, just the views, the way that the water is during the summer, just the nature. Yeah, I'm definitely taking to the River Valley first.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
for sure.
What kind of music do you like, and do you have a bucket list concert?
Music that I like, I really got a little bit of everything, man. I got some Morgan Wallen in there. You
Okay.
know, I got some Gunna in there. I got some Tim's. I got some Kalani. Like I got a little bit of everybody in there. But if I can say one concert, like bucket list concert that I gotta go to, Rod Wave had a good concert, but I've already been to that one. I was about to say Drake, but I've been to a Drake concert. That's a great question. Who would I go see in concert that I haven't seen?
Alive or dead, right?
Morgan Wallen. I'm tripping. Morgan Wallen
Okay.
for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
For sure. I really hate I couldn't. Man, I was so mad because he had his concert and then I was up to play. So I'm like, well, forget the concert. Like I'm on the flight to Toronto. Like I'm ready to play. Then I got hurt and I was like, should have.
Oh.
Man, but yeah, more. I'll say Morgan Wallen. Well, I gotta see him eventually. I gotta see him.
Fair.
Awesome. So obviously, you can sort of look around behind all of us. We do love to collect a little bit of football memorabilia. Do you have anything of your own that either another player, maybe when you were a kid, or something that represents your journey in football that you collect and keep?
Um, so I'll never forget when I was in high school. I was one of the photographers in the city. Got the invitation to go shoot a Ray Lewis camp. When I was in high school, and he brought me back a wristband that Ray had gave him, and I ended up losing the wristband. Somebody broke it a couple of years later. I had it for some years, and so I feel like my thing now is I got my own wristband that says hashtag faith, and then it has my name on the back. Um, and faith was a slogan that I came up with because obviously, I'm a man of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. So faith was just something I came up with when I changed my number at Tulane from number 40 to number 1. And it just reminds me of keeping God first because it's faith with the number 1 in the middle, and just keeping God first, not forgetting how I got here or who gave me the opportunity to be where I'm at today, living out my dreams. And so I'll say this is my
Love
idol,
it.
the one that I never take it off. I always keep it as a reminder, keep it on my wrist. So yeah, this I would say this one would.
That's amazing.
Any
Awesome.
pregame rituals?
Pre-game rituals. Um, I gotta walk the field, especially if it's an away game or at home games too. But I gotta just walk the field and just kind of get my mind right. I use that time to just, pray, to call a family member to talk to about, the game, what I'm gonna do, pray with them, and to just center myself and just as a moment to say, man, like be where my feet are, for the next however long it takes, just be where my feet are every play, every snap. Don't worry about any outside distractions, any noise, but just really soak in this opportunity. Because like I say, man, this game can be snatched from you like that. So that's my pregame ritual, really grounding myself, grounding my mind, taking a couple laps around the field to just get in that zone and get ready to play.
Those of us who've been around a long time, we've for generations heard about the double E way, the EE way. What does the EE way mean to you?
The EE way to me is being a hardworking individual that shows up every day ready to handle their business and earn the right to do whatever it is that they're doing at a high level. That's what I feel like the EE way is for me. Just, blue collar city, blue collar individuals. When you walk into that stadium, you put your work in, you earn the right to go out and get a victory. And then after that, you celebrate the victory. One thing about this city, they celebrate when their teams are doing good. So I just feel like that's the way to me, man, is putting the work in, getting the results, and then enjoying and fellowshipping with each other after you've achieved something great.
Amazing. Well, Nick, I can't thank you enough for taking some time to come and chat with us. You've inspired us all. We're excited to see this group again. We still have to wait for, what is it, 2 months? I don't know. I know you're like it's right around the corner. I'm like, it's too far away. Difference between players and fans, I'm quite sure. But loved having you. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm sure we'll chat with you during the season. Is there a spot where people can like follow you online, or do you do any social media, or not really anymore, or lots of people are going away?
So yeah, I'm on Twitter. I got to get back active on Twitter. But I'm on Twitter, Nick Anderson 14 _. And I'm also on Instagram, neezy.a, neezy.a_. I'm mostly on Instagram for the most. I feel like this is my highest stream platform, but I'm gonna get back active on Twitter. But those are my main two if fans want to reach me.
Awesome. We will do that. And thank you once again. And I guess we will see you in just a couple of months out on that field, and we'll be up in the stands, Mike stroking his beard, judging the players, and we'll all be sitting there watching and watching with your wristband there, going out and knocking people down. Can't wait.
Can't wait, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks so much, Nick. You have a great night.
Y'all.
Ooh.
Damn.
I'm so excited.
You really can feel that culture shift the last couple of years.
Oh, 1000%. I can't agree more. Like, it's Hundo P, as Morley Scott would say. Like, just the culture shift is there. You can tell that he wants to be part of something bigger, and that the coaches are wanting him to be part of something bigger. Like, the one that just about got me, though, I think you too, Kayla, was when he said that Niles Morgan said, "This is your opportunity." And I'm like, that's exactly what Niles would do. And we all love Niles. But it's his turn, and it's so awesome. So awesome. So
it's going to be interesting to see how they balance. I mean, we have 3 really solid guys for 2 spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously Nick's going to be a starter.
Yes.
And you've got Brock and you've got Joel. Who's going to move into that middle position? Will it be Joel? Will it be Nick? Will it be Brock still?
Yeah, it's
very exciting. Go with a 3-4.
Exactly.
Correct.
4 linebackers. Now we're talking.
Those 3, and then you put who was our Sam last year at the end of the year? Was it Walker? No, not Walker. Parker Jr. No, something Junior.
Logan?
Anyway, whatever. Logan, thank you. That's it. Kenny Logan, thank you. Well,
I don't know how I pulled that out of the hat, but
well done. Yeah, that's right. It's a St. Patrick's Day miracle. That's right.
You get one, and that's it. I'm tapped out.
Glad we all wore green today,
isn't it? Yeah, it was a tough decision. Yeah, hardest day of the year for us to get dressed. Although I had to wear my regular blue scrubs to work, and then I got bugged. Like, why are you not wearing green? Well, because I wear green every other time when I'm
a born rebel. Duh.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's quickly talk about the 2026 coaching staff, because it did finally get announced as to who is all on the staff. Remains mostly the same, and I can't say how excited I am about that. That consistency, we've kept saying it, that the consistency is so important. Only a couple of adjustments. One is Jabari Arthur coming in as the running backs coach, 9 years with the Calgary Dinos, with the last 4 being the offensive coordinator. So he has that, that university background and coaching background. So that's great. And then Cedric Douglas coming in as the defensive line coach. The only information I really had about him is that he had 9 years in the NCAAs with D lines. So he knows, he knows his stuff. So that should be rather interesting. And
slight adjustment, but I'm mad.
Yeah, exactly. And then Des Cotillier goes from the special teams assistant to the special teams coach.
Such a great name.
Rest, isn't it? Yeah. The rest of the rest of them are the same, and
Dang.
this is such a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuity is so massive.
Right. And especially when you hear how even like how Nick talks about JC and talks about Coach Killam,
Both former linebackers.
right? And but he also just talks about how they just make that impact. And I love hearing the story that, you know, he said that he had that one pregame speech and he's like, why aren't I playing? You know, like, yeah, well, and we get that. So not a bad thing to have that. So let's go on to some roster moves. All the free agents that we talked about coming, they came. Shockingly. So that was pretty good. We did have some other signings though of guys that are coming in for camp. Defensive back Ladarius Tennyson. I see we're going back to some Derry. That's always good.
As it should be.
Exactly. Defensive back Ike Brown. Tell me that's not a football name.
100%.
Ike Brown. Holy
Remember the Titans was calling.
That's
remember how easy that one is to pronounce in a few minutes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Defensive back Jeremiah Walker. That's why, right? Because that was the hard
well
one.
Done.
And wide receiver Efeolua just goes by Efe, I think.
Yeah.
Ife, I think. They didn't have the phonetics. Guys, put the phonetics in on those names, could you please? That'd be very helpful. And it's Adii at the end. So Adii, sure, we'll find out soon enough. But
Yeah.
again,
like Adjay with a different letter.
it could be Adii. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, again,
Or Smith with all different letters.
Right.
It could be that. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. But welcome to the team, fellas. We'll be excited to see you in yet a couple of months.
I can't wait to learn.
Yeah, right? We'll be able to sit there and how are we going to learn all these names? I know, nicknames.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the nicknames.
Linda, Linda's eyes got big. Yeah. Canada Post. Okay, so free agent welcome party. Linda, you and I were able to go to that. Thank you very much, Mike. I'm sorry you were sick, but I was glad that I was able to go to that. What stood out for you at that? I thought that was kind of a cool event.
Well, I mean, these guys were literally just off the plane and they were there with the colors on and they were good to go. There was none of the, hanging back, not sure what to do. I don't know, that must have been a heck of a pep talk from the airport to the bar because they were engaged. They were not rushing anywhere, not looking, askance at each other. Like, what did we get into? It was like baptism by fire. This is what it's going to be like to be with this club, and our fans are everywhere, and you're going to be part of that. And I was just so impressed with how they conducted themselves right out of the gate.
I totally agree. Couple of things for me. One was that Jordan Murray is a monster. He is a giant man. Like, holy, yeah. That's you'd think his name was Ike Brown. You wouldn't want to meet him in the back alley. Let me tell you, big dude. Nice guy though. It was good. Also, Coulter Woodmansey has a great sense of humor because we told him that we were going to call him 6'7" because that's his number, and he said he immediately regretted it, but he did laugh. So that was good. Also, Boo, or Brandon O'Leary Orange, is one of the nicest guys. Like, he was so chatty. I loved him. And he was he was trying to get Nathan to interact and chatting with him. And it was just so like, yeah, he's a guy that I'm like, yeah, you're going to fit right in here. Like the community side is going to be awesome with you. So yeah, really, really happy with some of those guys. It was a great pickup. And Austin Mack was quiet, but he was good. He was good. So
I thought the organization did a great job with the event.
I agree. Yeah. nice to have Morley announcing the new guys, and they were doing Inside Sports right live while it was there, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, and we got to spin the big Price is Right wheel, and Nathan won a $50 Elks
Bar tab.
store gift card, so he was very
Nice.
excited. Yeah,
Was that at the Ice House?
Good for him.
no, it was at
Not parlor.
no,
Banquet.
it's banquet.
Banquet.
There we go. Yes,
Oh,
it was a
okay. So
banquet. Yeah,
same thing, just upstairs.
Yeah.
upstairs.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it was loads of fun. So
The team has really done great stuff this year
Mhm.
in the off season so far.
100%. Yeah, Mike, you mentioned the skate, the part. What did they call it?
Oh, the
Pucks
green and goals.
Yeah, green and goals. There we
and-
go.
Green and goal.
What did you think of that event?
It was super fun. They did allow us a tailgate before the game, which was great. Get a little bit of practice in before the real thing happens.
I saw meatball subs.
We had a lot of, yes, you betcha. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. They had a couple of the players come down. Mike Arcuri from the team was also there. Came over to say hi. So the players were Tyrell Ford, obviously Nick Anderson, and they managed to get Mark Cordy to come all the way from his house into Spruce Grove. So it must have taken him at least 2 minutes to get there. And his father was there as well, and we got all sit and chat and everything else. And they got to eat a bit of food. We brought some hot chocolate and to keep them warm. It was the coldest day of the month. Go figure. But then the event itself was a lot of fun as well. They had the Spruce Grove Saints wearing their throwback jerseys to the 70s when they were the Spruce Grove Mets, which wore green and gold, which worked out pretty well. Nice. Deb Thompson and Chris Morris did the puck drop, but instead of a puck, it was a mini football. And then at one of the intermissions, they had the 3 football players come out and go against some of the Bantam football players from the Spruce Grove Cougars in a shootout. They set up a couple of targets, just the low down ones, on the ice, and whoever could knock them down first won on the next round. And let's just say that the kids kind of mopped the floor with the professional athletes, which was kind of fun. But everyone had a great time. There was lots of food. There was lots of both punter and Anook were there for mascots. It really seemed to just be everyone was super happy to see the players. Everyone was super happy to be thinking about football, and the football players just looked more than excited, looking forward to getting ready for that season.
Outstanding. All right, we have one other roster move to talk. There was a release since we last met, and that being Martez Ivy. I think writing a bit on the wall when we go out and sign 2 other American offensive linemen. But that's a tough one. Yeah, tough one. Because Martez was great for us a couple of years ago for sure. So, and a couple of times robbed of the best O lineman in the league as far as I'm concerned. So. All right, Mike, are you ready for some Horde and Tell?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know, right? All right, here we go. Oh, wait.
It's time for Horde and Tell. It's time for Horde and
Yeah, preseason. Yeah, that's great. Good job, Andrew.
There we go.
There he is. All right. I forgot to take the loop off. That would be the important part. All right. Excellent. What do you have for us today, Al McCann?
I see you, not me, but okay.
Oh, really? I can see you.
Am I in the right spot?
You are.
Weird.
In the right
Okay,
spot.
well, I'll take your word for it. So I got a few things coming in that have been sort of big items for me. Not big, but first off, I'll kind of go back. I've shown some of these before in the past. The CFL has put out radios before. There is a 1971 radio. They came just blank, and you got to put your own decals on. So of course, the most important ones are on this one. Just a little transistor radio. The knobs are on the side. A year or 2 later, they came out with ones for each team.
Nice.
Like that. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. There's actually a matching piggy bank and a lamp that look exactly the same with the same mold. But before either of those, in 1969, a fine year, the Admiral Transistor Radio Company put out this.
Oh,
And this
man, that's
is one
cool.
I have been looking for
Wow.
for about 20 some odd years, ever since I first learned about it. You can still tune into 880 Ched. It does work. So, you know, you can sit at I remember as a kid, people having these and sitting at the games and listening to Brian Hall talking on the radio while they were watching the game. So I finally got one out of the collection. A big thanks to our good friend Chad, who was living close to the person selling it. So he managed to do the pickup for me while I was under the weather, and I got it at the last meet and greet. So that was great. And secondly, this is something I didn't even know existed, but is probably going to be a cornerstone of my collection. And I'm going to need a little bit of help from Andrew because it's not nearly as big. When I said things are big, I didn't mean physically. So I don't know if you can sort of make this out. So Andrew, maybe show the picture with that on it there.
There we go.
Beauty.
There it is. So this is a cufflink. And as near as I can tell, it's from 1928 to 1930.
Oh,
so I was in a group on Facebook about Edmonton history, and a woman posted that her grandfather had played with the Edmonton Mercuries, a team that played for and won the gold medal in the Winter Olympics, 1928, 1932. He was the goalie, a man named Don Stewart. And I said, Don Stewart? There's a picture of him. He played for the football team from 1928 to 1930. There's a picture of him there in the bottom right. That's the 28 club. And she said, no, he was just a goalie. And I said, is this him? She said, that's him. Like, he played football. So he would have been there the very first time he was on the field when the very first forward pass was thrown in Canadian football.
wow.
He would have been there when the very first forward pass for a touchdown, which was thrown by an Edmonton quarterback, was thrown the next week against the U of A. Some absolutely historical pieces. And this was his cufflink. She doesn't know where the other one went. But, you know, if she ever finds one, I'll let people know. But that, she said, that explains why I've got this little football piece. So she said that it would probably be better in my collection than hers. It belonged to her aunt, which was her grandfather's daughter. And she was cleaning it out, and it came home with me.
Wow.
Wow, that's unreal. Holy cow, is that ever nice?
Yeah.
Good one.
So in 2 years, it'll be 100 years old.
That'd make a beautiful necklace. Oh.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I
So,
look forward
like I said,
to
it's not the
wearing that
biggest
necklace
piece,
there,
but-
Mike. Yeah.
There
Or
you
just
go.
the one pierce.
Maybe
one
let's get a
pierced ear.
little pierce. Yeah. Perfect.
God, I totally want this
And
to
then
happen
my
now.
ear could also be green. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Gangrene?
Yeah.
That would be okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Excellent. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. Thank you, Superfan. Thank you. Linda, you're up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. First down. This beer. Now I could have left that one on loop just for the laugh, but I decided to not have that one. Yeah.
Well, I am planning to do the piece that I wrote for a couple of weeks ago, but I have to add an intro piece in honor of St. Patrick's
Nice.
Day. And I don't want to talk about Guinness.
Okay.
It's a completely serviceable dry Irish stout. But there's still a few hours left in St. Patrick's Day. I would encourage you to go try an Irish Red.
Oh.
Irish Red ales are very easy pints that are going to lean towards the malt instead of the bitter.
Ooh,
So
I
if
would
you're
like
not-
that.
you would absolutely love an Irish Red. So it's kind of sort of dark amber to light copper, with which they call red. So I think you would be very happy with Irish Reds. There are no fewer than 10 Alberta breweries that are making Irish Reds right now. And I think I've tried most of them, and they're very serviceable. But top 5, I'd say, if you're looking for one, Sea Change Irish Red, Polyrhythms 808 Irish Red, Tool Shed's Red Rage from Calgary, Sawback's Irish Red from Red Deer, and Hubtown's Oh Finally Irish Red from Okotoks.
Oh,
I love that
finally.
Which I thought was great. So yeah, take a break from the Guinness, that beautiful cascading pour, and go have something nice light amber. They're going to range from 3.5 to 3.8 to maybe 5.5. Just a nice, refreshing brew.
Nice.
Anybody
Okay.
would like that. But that's not what I came to talk about. So we're at that point in the season where most of the CFL stuff is just quietly murmuring along. And if you're at all connected to Christian religious traditions, you're going to know this is also a quiet time. We are in the Easter season and the time known as Lent. And during Lent, followers are meant to give up something to make room to hear God in your life. But religious or not, we've all heard someone say, I gave it up for Lent. even
Yes.
if they didn't follow the tradition, they've all said it. For example, I did not grow up with the tradition, but when I was 6, I gave up liver for Lent, and I've managed to stick with it. It's
Well done.
way more than 40 days. So now I turn the sermon back to beer because it involves one of my favorite styles, which is the Doppelbock.
Doppelbock.
Doppelbock is a Bavarian specialty beer that originated in Munich, first made by the monks of St. Francis of Paul, starting in the early 1700s. They named it Salvator, which is Latin for savior or deliverer or preserver. So you get the sense it was pretty good. And informally, the monks called Doppelbock liquid bread. And that's what they drank during Lent, because they fasted from food. They gave up food, but not beer. I can get behind this.
Bravo, monks.
This sounds like an excellent tradition. I think we should start
Yeah.
this on the podcast. Yeah. Yeah.
But they brewed such a good beer that they called it liquid bread. Bless their hearts. So Doppel means double, and Bock actually means goat, but it's implied to mean strong, which is strong as in alcohol. And what you get is a very strong, rich, malty German lager.
Ooh.
This is one of my favorite beers. There are pale and dark variants. I like the darker. The darker it is, the more richer the malt character, the lighter, the more hop character, and the drier the finish. So this one is Celebrator, and this is from Eying in Germany. And this has been brewed in exactly the same style since 1878. And one way to know you're getting a Doppelbock is because the name of the beer ends with ator. So this one is Celebrator. It was Salvator.
Okay.
So you watch for that. So Paulaner monks trademarked Salvator, but left all the other ators up for grabs. So that means Brian, also known as Escanator and Elkinator, was probably a Doppelbock. Because I do have a type.
We can
Anyway,
forever call him Doppelbock. I appreciate this. Yeah, that's great.
You get nice, slight caramel notes, a bit of an alcohol aroma, but you're not getting anything from the hops. A little bit of chocolate, but never burnt or roasty. And you could get some dark fruit like plums. So it is actually clear. It's not opaque. And you'll get probably some ruby highlights, but not with this ring light.
Okay.
So this one comes in at 6.7.
Ooh.
So I did get another one. This is from Wolf Brewing on Vancouver Island. And I got it when I was there at Christmas. And this is a smoked Doppelbock, weighing in at 7.8. And this is from Nanaimo. And I was really impressed with it. And it's excellent. A little bit of smoke on the nose and on the palate. And I think you'll see a little bit darker.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Less
now.
ruby than the original. It is a fantastic beer, but sadly, the brewery did a one and done on it. So I've not even been able to source any extra cans or even a list of all their ingredients. But it's a winner. So I'm sharing my very last one with you, all the Turf District troopers. Moderate carbonation, smooth, sneaky. Both of these are delicious. So if you are fasting this Lent, I recommend the beer. It is like a meal. It's like a wonderful chocolate sandwich or something.
Liquid bread.
Yeah. So if, like me, you've all been forced to give up CFL for Lent, but I think this will help us keep the faith, subbing in some rich chocolatey beers to get us over the hump.
Oh,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Torture.
Do what you gotta do.
You know. That's
We
awesome.
find a way. But oh my, that sounds delicious.
That Doppelbock sounded really great too.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try one of those now. Yeah. Every time we have one of these, I'm like, I gotta try that. I gotta start a list. Like, what's going on? Yeah.
Linda, please tell me you have a binder of everything that you try. Or is it here?
Sure. No. It's all recorded, but it is not anywhere near as organized as a binder.
No, that's fair. You're just a wealth of information. I always have to go back to your segments. I'm like, what did Linda say again?
Yeah. You should see when you're out and she's like pulls out the app and she's like, yeah, that one's okay. Yeah, that one. This one had good reviews. I didn't mind it, but you'd probably like it. It's great. Yeah, I love I love when the app comes out. It probably means I'm going to enjoy whatever I'm about to have. So that was
so excited for tailgate. To share our finds.
Oh yes. I have to get the new bottle because I think I finished the other bottle of whiskey, but I will get a new one to bring because let me tell you,
I have one waiting for the first game because I'm calling that one mine.
All right, fair enough. That's fine. Now, is that the first official home game or is it the preseason game?
No, preseason. Maybe we should do like the cheap whiskey, the fun, kind of like the last one. Bring your own, choose your own adventure kind of thing, but home game.
Fair enough. The first home game. Okay. The Montreal game. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. All right, let's quickly talk about our CFL Fans Fight Cancer event. Like I said, just over 10K raised across the country, and I believe it was 7 different parties that went on. Amazing work by all the people organizing them, and I want to send a thank you to Tammy Campbell-Jones, who helped us with some graphics and some promotions, and of course all the great stuff that happened in Calgary, which is of course the host this year, and the big party at the end of the year is going to be held at the rooftop, which is where they had their kickoff party, and that place is awesome.
It's so cool.
It's so fun. Like I've been there the one time, but I really liked it. So needless to say, what were your guys' highlights from that? Mike, let's start with you.
Oh, just seeing everybody again. It's been so long for a lot of them, even just like the 3 of you as well. We don't get a lot of chance to spend time together. It's all very virtual. So being in the same room, all 4 of us, is always a special time. So I really enjoyed that. I got to bring my son along, and we got some, father-son time beforehand where it's just the 2 of us kind of hanging around after his camp, and then to come and see everybody, it just makes it extra special. I mean, the donations were fantastic. I love seeing the bids go fast and furious, especially at the end. And I mean, it's always for a great cause. So Yeah, I wish I could have spent more time with more people, but at least I was able to, get some hugs in there, get some chats with everyone, and I look forward to the next time we see them.
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that the major highlight is me gaining a new nickname, at least,
Yep.
or one that I had from high school. That Meat Zach. That was so funny. That was my nickname in high school, wasn't it? Oh yeah, Kayla. What? No,
Really?
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
You never know with boys. You just never know. Okay.
It's totally fair. Totally fair.
It wasn't, but it is now.
It is now. That's right. Yeah, I better change my name.
Change your name on here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I should have had that change. Why didn't I think of that?
Meat
All right,
Zach,
Commissioner,
yeah.
your highlights from the show or from the get together.
A little long-winded, so I apologize. But
That's
the
okay.
ultimate moment was when I outbid my boyfriend for the thing that I wanted. So that was always great.
We like that.
That was hilarious. Yes.
But this couple walked in and distinctly the gentleman, and I waved at them because I recognized them, but I didn't know from where. And a few minutes later, Maddie walks up to me. He's like, "Do you recognize those people?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I thought so. Why? Like, who are they? Where are they from?" And he's like, "No, that's what I was asking you. But I think they were from our host or our Airbnb in Winnipeg." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I think you're right. But I'm not afraid to look stupid. I'll go ask." And so I went and asked, and I was just like, "I recognize you guys." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Did you stay with us at the B&B?" And he was like, "Yeah." It's like, "We had breakfast together." I was like, "I had no idea you were from here." So that's just such a cool moment where you never saw each other ever at tailgates, at games, at other events. And then you randomly stay at the same B&B. And then they show up at your event and you're like, "Oh my gosh." Like it's
Small
such
world.
a small world. Such a small world. So yeah, that was shout out to Todd and Kenna.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then of course, like seeing everybody, but especially seeing my sis Leanne, getting to hang out with her for a little bit, and she got me like some of the cutest presents.
Aw.
This is
Oh,
a big,
nice.
That's awesome.
big old water jug. Don't even go there. I see those
What?
jug
Oh.
man.
Yeah. Okay.
You have too many nicknames now.
I know.
But yeah, no, it was just great. It was great to see everybody. It's a good little kickoff. Oh gosh, I can't wait for tailgate.
Yeah, I agree. Linda, how about you? I know you had to come in kind of midway, but what was my
was
highlight
awesome.
for you?
Yes, it was between beer gigs.
Yeah.
Champ.
I was at a beer training session, then I came there for beer, and then I went to Beer Fest. So
Yeah.
it was lovely to see people out. People were definitely happy. I caught the tail end of the silent auction, didn't win anything, but was able to scan the QR code and contribute in some way. So I just thought everybody did a lovely job putting it together, showing up and doing some good. Always happy to be part of it.
Yeah, that was it was great, and so nice to have some of the conversations, like trying to bounce around tables and say hi to everybody, and that was a ton of fun. I do want to say thank yous to all of our donations that we got. So first round, of course, for hosting and donating the Team Canada World Junior jersey, which was awesome, and as always, such we were treated so well. They really took care of us, made sure that we got everything we wanted. We weren't in the door more than 5 minutes before Nathan asked if they had pierogies, and Franco was very nice to hand deliver the pierogies to Nathan, which he thought was very special. So they're just so great to us there. I thank you, Franco, to you and your team, and we'll definitely do more there. I did like it in the back corner. We felt like we had a little more space.
Yeah.
We weren't tripping over one another.
That's
so
nice.
that was really nice. West Edmonton Mall for their package. Of course, our good friends at Edmonton Sports Talk with a wonderful package of prizes that Mike took home. Yeah, exactly. All weather windows, which helped with the mini karaoke machine. Leanne and James Jackson and Stonichies together, putting together the Meat Sack, which which I won. It was great. At Square One Coffee, which was the thing that Kayla outbid Matt on, which was outstanding. Derek Mapstone for his, and of course Sean Spruill. The light boxes were a giant draw, and so
Beautiful.
many people just so impressed with that stuff. So thank you to everybody, not only for coming but for your donations. We really appreciate it. I do want to say congrats too to the Edmonton Elks Ovarian Cancer Research Endowment Fund. They crossed the 1 million mark since inception in 2008. So that's really, really great to hear. And when we right before the event of the training camp, we had Joan on, and she was talking about how this made an impact from somebody who worked with the team and where they've kind of come from there. It's just great to have that them cross that watermark, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about our preseason at Clarke Park. I am so fired up about this. I really hope that I can get a ticket because it's going to be tight. It only what does Clarke Park fit now? Like
5,100,
but they're bringing in some seats.
Yeah, I heard it might go up to 9,000 or 10,000.
Okay, so I understand that probably means that I'm sitting on a bench somewhere. Like I understand that.
So it's just like Clarke.
Yeah, right. But it's just that retro feel is going to be so great. Not to mention, we're going to be tailgating like right outside. We're like walking. This is going to be so cool. Like I'm so excited for it. So it's Friday, May 29th. We go back for one retro night. Starts at 7 p.m. We talked about the expanded seating, but what the team has said is that anybody who is a season seat holder, they're going to get a credit on their account for the preseason game, and then they are going to sell tickets supposedly by seniority. So that should be interesting. I'm curious to know how many you'll be able to buy if it's the same number as your
same
season
number
Same
Oh,
number.
that's what they're saying. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. I should hopefully be able to get two then. That should be good. So we should be all right. But yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just waiting for Mike's response.
Yeah. Having been at the last time they played at Clarke Stadium to now has been 48 years. I am more than excited to get there. I was certainly hoping I'd be able to get, my old section in row. But given that my seniority after having moved to Victoria and back is not the same, I don't know if I'll be able to get that, but I just want to be in there. I think it's going to be a really exciting night. I think they're going to be pulling out a lot of stops. I've already been asked for a lot of photos and video footage from the Clarke days. So they are really, I think, going to do this up right. And who knows what they're going to have. Nothing would surprise me at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be super exciting. Linda, how are you feeling about it?
Well, I mean, I want to be on the inside too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm trying not to get my knickers in a twist right now, but if I'm not selected, then I'll get in a twist, and there'll be shocked and appalled letters flying all over the place. But for now, I'm just let go and let God. I'm going to be there.
All right.
And I can't decide what retro thing to wear, but it's going to be very retro.
Oh,
Very
okay.
cool.
Love it.
I love this.
Cheer team outfit.
Kayla,
Cheer team outfit.
Cheer team outfit.
That's retro.
It's gonna be great. Kayla, how do you feel about it? You've only ever known us at Commonwealth.
Yeah,
Me
I
too,
mean,
but
it's a really cool concept. And I really enjoyed when we had Vandy there, and I liked watching CPL games when they had them there. But I'm like Linda, I'm so far down the totem pole that I don't know if I'll get a seat, because I didn't know that's how they were being selected. But heaven's sake, I'll stand. Like, I'll buy a ticket and stand. I don't need to sit. So I'll be more excited once I have a ticket in hand.
Climb the tree like we used to.
Yeah.
Climb the tree. That's right. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna put Kayla in the knothole gang because she's young and tiny. It'll be fine. Yeah, no one will notice. Yeah.
Just until I scream and start cheering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Start swearing up a storm. Wait a second. What is going on? What is going on in the knothole gang? I did hear some people, though, they were saying that they will do the tailgate and then they'll just stay in the tailgate and listen to the game like on the radio, and they know it's right there. Like, it'd be kind of a yeah, Mike's transistor radio. It'll be perfect. Yeah.
That might be fun, but I feel like I would just be like, I want to be inside.
Yeah. Fair. Hopefully we will all be in and enjoying all of our retro path. I don't know where we're gonna have west of us. We'll figure it out, though. It's all fine. Well, I feel confident we'll find a spot.
Just get a really large telephone thing, just
Center field.
Yeah.
Yeah. West of us over here.
The halftime show.
I'll get Matt Pretty to put that on his EE flag, west of us here, and you can just wave it and we'll all go over there. Okay, well, very, very exciting. And then the last thing that I want to talk about, because this will happen before we do our next show, which is the CFL Combine that's coming to Commonwealth, March 27th through 29th. I'm hoping to attend on the weekend. The Friday I probably won't be able to, but I am hoping to be there Saturday, Sunday. I love watching this event live, especially when you get into the one-on-ones and stuff. It's so interesting to see these guys ball out, and then you kind of know some names when it comes time to when they're doing the draft. You feel a little more involved. So excited to have that here, and if you're able to pop out, I think you should, and just kind of get a glance at some of these future stars. It's always exciting to have that. A lot of my 3 down brethren are coming out as well, so that's going to be great. And speaking of which, I have booked one of those to join us to talk about the Combine on our next podcast. So we will talk about that before we leave. Now, well, this was an excellent comeback. I must say, I always knew that Nick would be a great guest, but I think he outdid even my expectations.
Yeah,
so
100%.
As always, thank you, Mike Arcuri, for helping to set that up, and thank you to Nick for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Also, I do want to send a shout out to our friends at Pay It Forward with Football. Not only were they at the event on March 7th, but it's always great to see them, and they do so many good things. So make sure that you support them as well. All right. How do we find all of us? Linda, where do people find you?
On Instagram at TrueBrew42.
Wonderful. And Superfan?
You can find me at 56 Parkies and the Edmonton Football History account at EDMHISTOREE on all your social channels.
That's such a great little tune. Commissioner?
On the Twitter box at Duchess Lombardi.
Have you been on there recently, or are you waiting for the football comeback?
Oh no, I retweet football stuff and then I exit immediately.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay. Kayla is also the master of our gram. So she does the IG for us. So if you're sending a message, Kayla's probably going to see it before I will. So just so that you know, it's all good. And you can find me at Freepalicious, or of course the show at the Turf District on all of your different social channels. You can check out the store. I'm still trying to work on this new store. It's not going as smoothly as I would like, but it's coming. It should be ready for the season. Just bear with me. But the Zazzle store is still around. Some items have now kind of disappeared, but there is still some items around. So if you'd like to grab those, you can grab those there. Thank you very much to everybody who joined us and added in some questions. Mike, was there anything from the fans we need to add in before we wrap up here?
Let's see here. You did mention a lot of the people who did donations. You skipped one.
Did I?
And yes, and
Oh.
Randy McDonald would like to thank
No.
the Walker jersey was definitely a highlight thanks to my bid party. I believe
You're-
that was donated by yours truly, Mr. Meatsack.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. That was a meat sack donation right there. Yeah.
Yep. Here we are.
And
So that was a
my
great one
Ivy
from Randy.
jersey was in there too. So
Your Ivy jersey, that's true.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
that got
yes.
a great new home. I'm excited about that.
Mhm.
And Mike, you had the signed football.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I didn't mention those, but that was because we were there. We donated them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I'm glad you got it, Randy.
Leanne had to say as well, speaking of things that people won, I'm glad you enjoy my man's meat. Me too.
Oh God. Where's Cliffy? Jesus, Leanne.
It's up
He-
there.
It's in there. Oh, good. Thank God. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
if he didn't respond like that, then something's not right with the world. Yeah.
It's true. We did get someone giving us kudos for the show. Someone who has been on the show once a long time ago. Our good friend Scott Cloman.
Oh, nice. All right. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, he was season 2, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been a few years or 3 maybe. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I was on the show at that point, so and I think it was before Kayla, so it's early days.
It's exactly. Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah, he doesn't look any different, which is
No, I know.
scary.
It's kind of annoying. Really. Looks like he can still suit up and play.
Yeah,
And then lastly, from our good friend Cliffy,
yes.
the Wall
Nice.
Uguak will be doing a youth camp in Edmonton, and we'll get more deets for y'all.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Sweet.
I did hear about that actually. I think I saw it on Twitter because I think the Chargers were promoting it a bit because of course he did play with the
Yep.
Edmonton Chargers at one point. So that's pretty cool. I will yes, please, more details would be great. Oh, and I promised Matt O'Donnell before, and I should have said it earlier, the EE Alumni Wine Fest is
Ooh.
coming. Mike, you and I are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It is on May the 2nd
Yeah.
in the afternoon, and both Mike and I are not in the province.
I'm not
Mike's
in the country.
country.
Yeah.
So geez, could you guys check with us for timing before you do
Exactly.
this?
I can't even go this year, and I'm
Like what do you do anyway? Please support the CFL alumni.
It is a great
or the
time.
Edmonton alumni, I should say. We've posted some links before. We'll post some links again, and of course, we'll talk more about it as we get into the shows that will be coming up. Oh, Cliffy's coming to the Combine. Fantastic. We will see you there. Boy, they're just world travelers. Those guys are out in Halifax, and now they're coming for the Combine. Wonderful. So yes, please get your tickets for the EE Wine Fest. It's always amazing. So I highly recommend it. We will be back in a couple of weeks, I promise, because now I've booked all the shows. I actually got organized. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're going to catch up with Three Down Nation's John Hodge, who will be here for the Combine. He will fill us in on how everybody did and who stepped forward and who stepped back, and all of the fun little juicy details that he gets from talking to all the different players. I love watching him work, and I love chatting with him. So look forward to that in a couple of weeks. Other than that, we'll be around. Find us online, join the huddle, have some fun with us, and hopefully we will see some of you at the Combine. So for Linda and Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Meat Sack, I guess. Yeah. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in 2 weeks.